Hey, my name is Zahan from Lotus Tunes, and I'm super stoked to be back on the channel. Production Music Live gave me early access to the Melodic House Start to Finish Academy, and now we're gonna go through some sounds. Let's dive in. One of my favorite sounds are these sequence sounds here from the Melodic House Bundle Orchestra Tools folder. I like these sequences because they're the perfect way to get your track started. They really get you inspired. You also have a ton of top loops in this Organica Essentials folder here that really fill out your groove. Like this one. Oh yeah, this one too. There's a ton of one-shots like these kicks. Some hats as well. And there's a ton of presets as well. And these presets also come with an according MIDI file, which is really cool. So you can see this preset over here, Equitas, also comes with an Equitas MIDI file. So we could drag in this MIDI file here and play the preset. They included a start to finish course, harmony and melody, and a mixing mastering course with exclusive A&R interviews. Everything you need to know to get your track signed. So we have a couple of sounds that we can work with now, drums, melodies, and maybe we can combine them too. I actually like the first little part here. Might transpose that, so let's go to Complex Pro, transpose it down, maybe 2. Maybe just 1 semitone. And loop this section over here. How does this sound with the drum groove? I think we can get an intro going with this. Maybe we can combine it with the drone that we've selected previously as well. Gonna have to repitch it though. And what do we have here? Tonal percussion, that's what we also added too, yeah? I actually like these 3 elements, so I'm gonna choose to work with them and delete the other layer that we have here. So let's add in a kick on top. Therefore, I'm going to create a MIDI track, add that above our drums, and look for a kick from the Melodic House bundle. I'm just going to take a few that inspire me so we can see which one sounds best in the mix. Now let's go for a 4 to the floor groove here. Duplicate this section till the end of our little loop here, and recolor our drums to, let's say, yellow. I'm gonna do a bit of rough mixing here, so take out a few of the melodic elements, take out the low end from our melodic house loop here, maybe add a hi cut to make it feel more like an intro here. And do the same for this little guy here too. Alright, so now I feel like I could add more to the drums and make it more of my own. This one sounds kind of interesting. Let's go for the loop, but let's select a little hi-hat sound from the loop here. Hit crop sample. And now we can dial in even further and crop the sample again. So it looks kind of like this. Now we can mess around with attack, decay, sustain. But I'm going to go for a short hi-hat, so I'll mess around with decay and sustain here. And now I'm going to select our little region here, hit Control-Shift-M, and start drawing in the hi-hats here. So this would be the original pitch, C3, right? Take this section, start duplicating it. We have a really So now we have a really soft and lush little hi-hat here, but I might increase the volume here. We can dial it down here. Take out some of those lows. You know what? Let's make it more of our own sound. So what I'm going to do is add in a vocoder because I feel like that really shapes hi-hats in a nice way. Change the format. And just slowly dial that in here. What I'm going to do after that is add in some type of delay plugin so we have that chicka 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 groove from the hi-hat. So let's go for maybe Echo. Echo does a good job. And add that in here. So I'm gonna go for a dotted groove now. There we go. And let's see if we can add some type of clap of our own on top of this loop as well. Yeah, this one's nice. I'm gonna take that, load that into the little simpler here, and do the same as we did for the hi-hat. Just select our little sample here, right click, crop sample, dial that in even further, right click, crop sample. So now we can draw the claps. Claps are usually on every second kick, so we're gonna head into fourth mode, draw the clap on every second kick. See if we can repitch the clap here. So it actually fits the key of the track. And then I'm going to shape the sound even further here. And now we can slowly dial this loop back in. Take out some of that low end. So we're using this loop as a texture. Can always mess around with the format from the hats. Awesome. So we have our core little groove established here with a bit of melodics and our drums going on. So now we can mess around with a few presets. I'm going to create a new MIDI track for that right underneath our melodics here. Let's load up Diva for that now. And then we're going to load up a few presets from the Melodic House bundle as well. Let's play that together with our loop. I honestly kind of like this pad. I want to make something out of that. So what I'm going to do is select this first little region here. Control Shift M. So these are the three notes that I played. G sharp, C sharp, and E. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I like these three notes played together. Let's take that as our first little chord here. Actually legato that so that plays till the end. Remove some of the low end and let's change the chord progression in the second half here. So duplicate the loop, double click, and take the upper note, maybe pitch that up 1. So this would be the major chord here. And this is the minor chord. I kind of like that interplay between the two chords. I'm going to leave it that way. Really simple chords, very, very basic ones. And switch out a few of the pad presets here. Yeah, this one's cool. Awesome. I'm gonna stick with this. Maybe change out the kick for another one. No, I kind of like the first one. Let's go with this one here. Now I'm gonna set up a sidechain group. So create an audio track. put that here and load up a compressor on the channel here. Compressor, and hit the sidechain input from drum rack. Well, might as well rename this to kick. So now it's coming from kick. Slowly reduce our threshold, but before we do that, we move all of our other tracks. Let's group these, call these melodic, and move those into our little sidechain channel. So let's call this SC for sidechain. Make it a whitish kind of color like this, and reduce the threshold here. So first we're gonna have to also make sure this is on input, so the sounds actually move into the audio track, and then we can start playing around with the threshold here. So let's hit play. Just want a bit of ducking here. Ratio 4:1 is cool enough for me. Add a high cut to this loop here. What I'm going to do now is duplicate the diva layer here. And out of this pad, I want to make a pluck. So let's mute the pad for now. And I'm going to go for a few arpeggios. So let's play this guy here. Kind of cool. Okay, let's play that together with the pad. Nice. Let's add in an additional ARP, a slower layer, and add a different style of arpeggio so it moves down and up, and it combines the diva arpeggio with the Ableton arpeggio. I find that to be very interesting for new little sound combinations. And automating the gate will give you very interesting sounds. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Head into automation mode and start automating the gate. Just like this, we open up the sound. It always gives you different tones. Make this louder. Add in an echo to make it more dominant in the mix. Add some reverb. Drums. There we go. We got ourselves a solid little loop here. So the last thing that I'd like to add to this loop is some type of bass groove, or maybe tom groove, something bassy. Therefore, I'm going to create a new MIDI track and check the presets folder if we can come up with anything interesting. So what I'm going to do is copy this diva from here and paste it into our MIDI layer here. And just mess around with a couple of bass notes, right? I'm looking for something very short and plucky. Something that doesn't necessarily play all the time, maybe just as a stab every few bars or something. So we're in the key of C sharp. Go. Take them just like that. Cool, let's duplicate this diva layer now. So we have two little bass channels, and let's come up with a bass note that plays in between. Move it over even more. go like this maybe. And want it to go like da da da. That sounds kind of cool. Awesome. Take this little section perhaps here, duplicate that here. And also make sure that we move these into the sidechain group as well. And as a matter of fact, I'm also going to take the little loop that we have here and put that into a separate group, call these perks, and move that into the sidechain group as well. Awesome. Really happy with the loop that we have so far. Let us take this little section here and hit Command or Control E. So we split that. And what we're going to do is move it out of our little loop section. So that's going to be the second half. Now what we're going to do is take this first little section that we have here and build somewhat of an intro out of this. And duplicate that here. So this would be our intro now. Now we can start reducing elements from the beginning. And we're working with one stagnant chord progression from the start. I feel like this ARP is a bit too much for the intro. Chords are okay, but we could filter them in through by using this auto filter here. Yeah, that's nice. Add a bit of a different curve here using auto filter. Hitting Alt and adjusting the curve. Cool. So we're also going to take an auto filter for this little arpeggio section here. Let me actually rename this into arpeggio. Put the auto filter here. And we're going to slowly introduce it in this little section here. Let's try to create a mini break here, or mini build. By taking out the kick. So we're going to take out the kick, emphasize a few of the melodics. There we go. Turn that on here. Notice how the melodics are slowly opening up. And we're going to close them down here. And slowly filter out this little top percussion loop that we have here. And reintroduce everything back in this little release section here. So what I'd like to do is call this release, aka drop, aka chorus. And now we need the kick back in here. Perhaps we might also remove the kick for a single bar before our little release section hits here. So slowly introduce the melodics here. See how this works. Awesome. And we can perhaps take the auto filter and apply this to our other channels as well. Sometimes this works, sometimes not. It's always worth testing out. You can filter out your percussions and drum elements during the mini build section. and open up your melodics. And what we could also do is fade out the melodics in this part here. So what we're going to do is add an echo here, or a delay. Delay might work better. Take this, put this here. 4-bar mode, ping pong, and slowly increase the delay amount here. And reset the auto filter so we slowly introduce that throughout our chorus. Awesome. And now what we're going to do is take this section here and duplicate that once. So we have the second part of our release section or drop section. And what we're going to do is rename this into release point 2. And set the delay time to 0 and slowly fade in our arps here. Now we can take our part here, which has the different chord progression, the major chord progression, put it here. We can build from that now. Create more movement within the individual sounds here. Awesome. Let's see if we can add a few transition sounds that we can add right between these sections here. Just like that one. So what I'm going to do is create a new little audio track here and put that right here. So approximately 1 bar before our release section here, we can introduce this little bongo fill and make sure that's routed into sidechain as well. Cool. Rewarp it, set the BPM to 125 because this sample is 125 BPM. I kind of liked it here. And as a matter of fact, just to give it a final touch, I'd like to add in a new diva layer and add in some type of introduction bass stab or something that feels like more of an impact here. So like a dun, if that makes any sense. So let's take diva here. Add it right here. And now we're going to draw on the root note, which is a C sharp, right? Cool. So now we're going to switch to a couple of bass presets because we want a bass impact, right? Let's go with this one here. Something rather less rhythmic. Just giving the sounds a playthrough to see if we can find a nice little impact synth sound. Let us play that together without the arps. Yeah, this is kind of cool, but we need to emphasize some of those high frequencies more, so I'm going to open up the cutoff filter here. And pitch it down an octave. Awesome. Now let's re-enable our layers here. See how this sounds. Let's still kind of quiet. Let's increase the amp here, the volume. Awesome, we can add this as a fill, as a matter of fact, every few bars. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to grab these sounds using the links down below. If you like my type of content, you can check me out on Lotus Tunes Academy as well, so feel free to do that. Cheers, thank you very much.